Your hands trembled as you gripped the steering wheel. The school parking lot was a blur through your tear-filled eyes. The panic in your chest grew heavier with each passing second as you dialed Jungkook's number. Pick up, please, Jungkook. You whispered desperately, tapping your foot anxiously against the car's floor. The call connected. Baby? Jungkook's voice was calm but instantly alert. What happened? Your throat tightened and you struggled to form words. Hyun, she's gone, Jungkook. The teacher said someone picked her up from school. Your voice broke, but I never sent anyone. I told them never to release her to strangers. Where are you right now? His tone shifted into something dangerous. I'm at the school. I'm so scared. My Hyun. Nothing will happen to our daughter. I'm coming. Stay there. And don't panic, okay? The line went dead. You pressed a trembling hand over your stomach, your 6-month baby bump rising and falling with each unsteady breath. Your 5-year-old daughter, Hyun, was missing. Someone had taken her and the only name that kept ringing in your head was her. Jungkook's ex. You had no proof yet, but deep down you knew. The woman who once broke Jungkook, the woman who abandoned him for another man, had reappeared recently, lurking like a shadow. It wasn't a coincidence. In a few minutes, a black car screeched to a halt next to yours. Jungkook jumped out, his usual soft eyes now burning with fury. Baby, he rushed to your side, cradling your face. Did they call? Did anyone contact you? You shook your head, fresh tears spilling down your cheeks. Nothing, no calls, no messages. Who would do it, Jungkook? I'm so scared, my baby. Where would she go? Jungkook calmed you down because you were pregnant and he didn't want you to panic, but it wasn't helping. He was scared himself. I'll find her, don't worry, but first let's go inside. Together you stormed into the school. The moment the teacher in charge of Hyun saw you, her face paled. The teacher swallowed hard under his glare. Mr. John, where is my daughter? You let a stranger take my daughter? The words were slow, deadly, and filled with something terrifying. The teacher stammered, her hand shaking. She had identification. She knew Hyun's full name. Jungkook slammed his fist on the desk. Hard, the entire office flinched. And did you confirm that with us? Did you call us before letting a 5-year-old leave with someone else? Your voice cracked as you stepped forward. I have told you 100 times. Hyun is to be released only to me or Jungkook. No one else. No one. The teacher looked miserable now, her hands gripping the edge of her desk. I understand, Mrs. John. I really do. But the woman was confident. She even... You nearly dropped your phone. What? What woman? No one was supposed to pick her up but us. The teacher stuttered, fumbling for words. She said she was family. She knew Hyun's full name, her birthday, even details about her class schedule. She had ID and she looked so sure of herself. What did she look like? His voice was razor sharp, cutting through the air like a blade. The teacher's breath hissed at his tone. She had brown hair, about shoulder length, with a beauty mark under her left eye. She looked... Jungkook didn't let her finish. Your heart dropped as your doubt turned real. It was her, his ex. He laughed, a dark, humorless laugh that sent chills down your spine. Of course she did. You looked at him in confusion, your heart hammering in your chest. Jungkook. You let my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, walk off with a woman you didn't verify with us. The teacher's voice was shaking now. She had ID. Did you call us? Did you call her parents before letting her go? Jungkook roared. There was silence. You felt your stomach twist in rage. You didn't. What kind of teacher are you to let a kid walk with a stranger without confirming their parents? Mrs. John, I swear I thought... I don't care what you thought. She is a child, my child, and you gave her away to someone we don't even know. You nearly broke down. Jungkook exhaled sharply, his fingers pressing against his forehead. His breathing was heavy, his nostril flaring. The teacher visibly shrunk. I made a mistake. Jungkook took a deep breath, trying and failing to control his rage. This is not a mistake. This is negligence. This is a lawsuit waiting to happen. You stepped forward, fist clenched. I trusted this school to protect my child. You were supposed to keep her safe. The teacher wiped at her tears. She looked so familiar. She had the same last name. Jungkook froze. Your blood ran cold. What did you just say? The woman. She said her name was John Soojin. You swayed slightly, your head spinning. Soojin, Jungkook's ex, and it was confirmed. The woman who broke him, the woman who left him, and now she had your daughter. Jungkook's hands curled into fist. Where did they go? The teacher shook her head. I don't know. Jungkook grabbed the office phone off the desk and dialed a number. Who are you calling? You whispered. His eyes were dark, cold. Taeyong. You sucked in a breath. Taeyong, the one person who could find anyone anywhere. The phone rang once before Taeyong picked up. Jungkook? Jungkook didn't waste time. I need you to track my ex now. Taeyong's tone changed instantly. What's going on? She has my daughter. There was a beat of silence. Send me everything you know. Jungkook hung up and turned to you. I'm going to find our daughter. I'll come with you. Why in? He tried to stop you, but you shook your head, tears streaming down your cheeks. No, Jungkook, I won't sit here and wait. I can't, please. He sighed, knowing leaving you would only make you panic every passing second, so he nodded, but before that, he turned to the teacher. You have no idea what you have done. The teacher paled. Jungkook took a step closer. You put my daughter's life in danger today. You released her into the hands of a woman who has every reason to hurt her. Do you know what that makes you? The teacher gulped. A liability. The word was sharp, like a knife to the throat. Jungkook exhaled sharply, trying to compose himself, but you could see it. He was furious. His next words were slow, controlled, and absolute. I don't care how confident someone sounds. I don't care how many details they know. If my daughter is taken by the wrong hands again, I will make sure the school shuts down. The teacher gasped. Mr. John, please. Jungkook tilted his head. Do you know who I am? The teacher's face was ghostly pale now. Jungkook let out a humorless laugh. Of course you do. Which means you also know what I can do. Your stomach twisted at his tone. The mafia boss in him was coming out now. Jungkook, let's find Hyun first. You whispered, touching his arm. He softened, just a fraction, but his next words remained cold. You will report this to the board. You will ensure this never happens again, and if I see one sign of carelessness, I will take legal action so brutal that you'll never work in this country again. The teacher nodded rapidly, tears forming in her eyes. I understand, Mr. John. I'm truly sorry. He just grabbed your hand and walked out. The moment you reached the parking lot, his hand squeezed yours. His voice was quieter now. You're getting her back, don't worry. The moment you got into the car, your phone rang. Unknown number. You hesitated before answering. Hello? A soft chuckle echoed through the speaker. Your blood ran cold. Ah, so you finally picked up. You gasped. Where is my daughter? Soojin laughed. Relax, sweetheart. She's right here. Say hi, Hyun. There was a rustling. Then, Mommy. Your breath hitched. Baby, you choked out. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Before she could finish, the phone was snatched away. Such a worried little mother. Jungkook leaned in, put her on speaker. You did. Jungkook's voice was venom. Where the hell are you, Soojin? She giggled. Jungkook, it's been a while. Tell me where you are before I tear this entire city apart. Soojin hummed. You sound so scary when you're mad. Jungkook's hands tighten on the wheel. You have no idea what you have done. If you lay a finger on my daughter, I'll make sure you regret it even more. There was silence and then she finally spoke. I wanted to see what I missed out on. Your stomach twisted. Sojin sighed. You really replaced me with her and now you're having another kid. Wow, Jungkook, you really moved on fast. Jungkook's jaw twitched. Let my daughter go. Sojin laughed. Come get her yourself. And the line went dead. You let out a shaky breath. Jungkook, don't worry, love. Our daughter will be fine. He was already driving. Taeyong's text popped up. Abandoned fair house, north side of the city. He swallowed hard. She's trying to lure you out. Jungkook's eyes were locked on the road. Let her. The warehouse stood ominous in the dim street lights. Its metal walls rusted and strained. A single flickering bulb illuminated the entrance, casting eerie shadows along the cracked. Jungkook barely stopped the car before he was out, slamming the door so hard it rattled. You hurried after him, your pulse hammering in your ears. Inside the air was thick with dust, the scent of old metal and oil lingering. The silence was deafening. You heard a soft cry, Mommy. Your breath hissed. Jungkook moved like a storm, his body tensed as he scanned the darkness. Hyun, he called out, keeping you near because he doesn't want to miss any step. A chuckle echoed from the far end and then she stepped into the dim light. Sojin dressed in black, her long hair a mess, eyes gleaming with something unhinged. Well, she drawled, arms crossed. You really came. Jungkook's entire body went rigid. His voice was venom. You have done a big mistake. Where is my daughter? Sojin smiled. Oh, relax. She's perfectly safe for now. Your stomach turned. Where is my daughter? You demanded, stepping closer. Her gaze flickered to your stomach. Her smirk widened. Ah, the next child. Wow, Jungkook. Already moving forward, huh? And with her? Jungkook's fist clenched. Bring Hyun here, now. Sojin let out a sharp laugh. You really are a fool. You left me over one mistake and now you're playing house with a woman who isn't even yours to begin with. Your breath caught in your throat. Jungkook's jaw tightened. What the hell are you talking about? Sojin tilted her head, her smirk turning cruel. I mean, really, Jungkook? Hyun's not even your real daughter. Silence, your heart stopped. Jungkook didn't even blink. His expression was unreadable, but his voice was deadly calm. And? Sojin's smile faltered. And? She's not even your blood. You left me, the woman you loved, to raise someone else's mistake? Jungkook took a slow step forward. His presence was suffocating. Sojin, you are a bigger fool than I thought. She blinked. What? Jungkook's lips curled into a cold, empty smile. That mistake is my daughter. She may not be my blood, but she's more mine than you ever were. Sojin's hands curled into fists. You are really happy, aren't you? Taking care of someone else's kid, having children with a woman who... She turned to you, her eyes flashing. Are you even sure this child is his? Didn't you belong to someone else before? A sharp silence spread for a second. Your nails dug into your palms. Jungkook let out a low, humorless laugh. Ah, now I get it. Sojin's smirk returned. Get what? Jungkook's eyes darkened. You and her ex. You are the same kind of people. People who play with hearts, who break trust. People who only realize what they had when it's too late. Sojin's expression twisted in rage. You... I wish I had met Ryan first. I wish I had found her before she had to suffer through someone just like you. But it's okay. At least now we both are over from toxic people from our lives. His words were like a slap. Sojin's hand shook. Shut up. She screamed, reaching for something behind her. A blade. Your eyes widened. Her sole intention swore to hurt you and get back in his life. Everything happened in a split second. Sojin lunged at you. Jungkook moved instantly. You stumbled back, hands instinctively wrapping around your stomach, bracing for impact, but Jungkook was faster. He grabbed Sujin's wrist mid-swing, twisting it harshly. The knife clattered to the ground. Sujin let out a pained shriek, struggling in his grip. Let go of me. She took my place. I was supposed to be with you. Jungkook's voice was lethal. A pathetic woman doesn't deserve to stay in my life. You tried to hurt my wife, my unborn child. His grip tightened, making her wince. And for that, you are done. A loud crash echoed through the warehouse. Both of you turned, Taeyong, and in his arms, Hyun. Your knees almost buckled in relief. Baby. She squirmed in Taeyong's arms, reaching for you. Mommy. Taeyong quickly handed her over, his voice low. She's safe. You clutched her tightly, pressing kisses to her hair, tears finally falling. I've got you, baby. Mommy got you. Jungkook released Sujin with a shove. She stumbled back, glaring. You think this is over? He turned to you and Hyun, brushing a hand gently over your head. It already is. Police sirens wailed in the distance. Sujin's face twisted in panic. Taeyong smuggled. Oh yeah, I called them 10 minutes ago. Sujin screamed in rage as officers stormed in, grabbing her roughly. Sujin's screams faded as the police dragged her out of the warehouse. The tension in the air still lingered, thick and suffocating, but the immediate danger was gone. Jungkook let out a slow breath, his shoulders finally relaxing, but his focus remained on you, his wife, his daughter, his entire world. You still had Hyun in your arms, holding her so tightly as if letting go would mean losing her again. She was sobbing into your shoulder, tiny hands fisting your shirt. Jungkook gently placed his hand on your back, rubbing slow circles. His voice was soft, careful. Baby, I need to see you. You hesitated but then slowly lifted your head. His eyes scanned every inch of you, from your face to your stomach, checking for any sign of harm. Are you hurt? His voice was thick with worry. You shook your head, trying to steady your breathing. I'm okay. She didn't touch me. Jungkook didn't look convinced. He tilted your chin up, thumb brushing against your cheek, his dark eyes searching yours. She scared you? You swallowed hard, nodding. I thought I lost her. You whispered, holding Hyun tighter. Jungkook exhaled shakily before leaning down and pressing a firm kiss to Hyun's hand. I would have burned the world to the ground before letting that happen. You closed your eyes, letting his warmth ground you. Then Hyun sniffled. Appa. Jungkook pulled back slightly and your daughter lifted her tiny arms towards him. He didn't hesitate. Carefully he took Hyun from your arms and held her to his chest, one hand supporting her back, the other cradling her head. Did she hurt you, princess? He asked, his voice the gentlest you had ever heard. Hyun shook her head, wiping her tears on his shirt. I was scared, she whispered. Jungkook kissed her temple, his grip tightened protectively. It's okay, my baby. Appa is here. No one will ever take you away from us again. You felt tears sting your eyes again, and then... Damn, that was intense. She's totally crazy. You turned to see Taeyong standing a few steps away, hands in his pockets, looking exhausted but relieved. A soft, genuine smile crossed your face. Taeyong, he smirked. I mean, I knew she was crazy, but wow, she really outdid herself. Jungkook let out a dry chuckle, shaking his hand. You always have to add a comment, don't you? Taeyong shrugged. It's my charm. You walked towards him and before he could react, wrapped your arms around him in a tight hug. He stiffened for a second before sighing, patting your back. You saved my daughter. I'll never forget that. Taeyong's voice softened. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Jungkook's voice cut in, mockingly amused. Alright, don't get too comfortable hugging my wife. Taeyong snorted but pulled away, holding his hands up. Relax, lover boy. She's all yours. Jungkook rolled his eyes but then met Taeyong's gaze, his expression turning serious. Really, man, thank you. Taeyong nodded, always. The air finally felt lighter. Jungkook turned back to you and Hyun, wrapping an arm around your shoulders. Let's go home.